Well, the year's coming to an end, so I'm almost finished with my 2014 planner, which includes the documented life prompts that I've been working on. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of wrap it up, show you what I've done, and where I plan to go with this. You've seen this planner many times over the last year, and I have added to it and done some different things with it in preparation to kind of finish it up. What I'm going to do, this is my goal. I talked before about how I discovered that I really don't need a planner, certainly not something like this. I need to do light planning, not heavy planning. My planning for 2015 is going to be light and simple. And I think I'm going to do the documented life for 2015, but this next year they're doing it more as just art journal prompts rather than tying it in with a planner. So that'll work well for me since I don't really want to art journal in my planner anymore. So maybe that's just what I need. But what I'm going to do for this one, I'm nearly finished. I didn't do all of the prompts all of the weeks, and I'm not going to, because there's some of them that just don't interest me. I also didn't do them in order. You know, keeping up with it week to week was just not really working for me, because I have an attention span of about like this, and my follow-through is just terrible on things. So what I did was I wrote down the prompts for each week, or the challenges, whatever they're calling them. And then when I felt like working on it, I went back in here and just picked the ones that I wanted to do. I did it that way. And as you can see, that seems to have worked for me. These little dots are the ones that I've completed. And the fact that out of 51 challenges, I've done all but maybe 10 is like incredible for me. Because normally, out of 51 prompts, I would usually maybe do 10. But in this case, I did all of them except 10. And there are a few that I am going to go back and do. And there's a few that I won't, because they're, I don't know, they just don't speak to me. But what I did, I wrote them down. And as I finished each one, I put this little dot here to show that it was finished. And I didn't go in order week to week like they did with the documented life. I just kind of stuck them wherever I wanted to in my planner. So I wrote little numbers on these, one for each week. And then when I finished the challenge for that week, I put the corresponding number on it so that I would know that that was for that week as I go back and look. You know, I just wanted that. Like this one has a 45 on it, so that was for week 45, which was to add a tab. So that was my tab. So that's what these little numbers and dots are all about that you'll see throughout here. My plan for this as I finish up the year is I don't need the planner aspect of it anymore. I've already gone through each month and transferred over into my new planner any information that I needed. So now I'm going through and I'm going to glue the calendar pages together. You know, these I just had monthly spreads for each month, right? So I'm going to go and glue March together because I don't really need to see that again. So that I've just got, in the end, a complete art journal. And I'm going to, you know, I'll take these tabs off or put something decorative on there. That way it'll just be an art journal. It will, no one will ever know that it was my planner. I think that's kind of cool. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm going to glue those monthly pages together and then finish out the challenges that I want to do. And I'll show you the last few that I've done. I can't remember where I left off. I know I've shown these before. So I'm just going to start at the back and go through a few. Okay, so this one was week 44, which was to add leaves in some way. As I got closer to the end of my book and really wanted to finish it up, I started getting a little lazy. So a lot of these last challenges I did are cut and paste. And I'm fine with that because I enjoy cut and paste. So these were already papers that I had painted and made up. And they were just in my little painted paper stash. I glued on a background paper, and then I cut leaves out of a couple different papers. Excuse me. This was originally supposed to be a vine. It doesn't look anything like a vine. It looks like a road. And I don't care. It's fine. Because it wasn't supposed to be realistic looking at all. You know, it's kind of a stylized leaf. And so, okay, I'm good with that. Week 38 was to draw a feather. So I did. And I've done other kind of cool, funkies and tangly feathers before, but I wanted something simple because I'm all about just, you know, finishing. So I just did this feather. This one was to, I think the challenge was to illustrate gratitude in a creative way. This is a list of the names that I used in my last shout-out video. These are all YouTube channels that I enjoy and am inspired by. And I made this, you know, wrote them down on this pretty paper and colored it and everything. And, you know, didn't want to just toss it, so I used it in here to illustrate gratitude in a creative way, because I am very grateful to not only each one of these people, but to everyone who creates YouTube video and puts themselves out there. I am so inspired by these and more on a daily basis, and I'm so grateful for them for sharing themselves and their talent so freely the way they do. So this was my gratitude page. This one was to fill a page with numbers, I think is what that was. I had all of these painted papers already made up. I had this background with the numbers on it already done, so I stuck it down. And then I just used some big stencils to trace numbers and cut them out of some other painted papers I had, and then glued them on there. So, you know, very simple page, but I like it. This one was to include a map of your city or town or country or whatever. Well, I just happened to have a map of my subdivision on my computer. So I printed it out. I stuck it down here. I haven't marked my house yet because I can't remember exactly how many houses in from the corner I am. I think I'm 6. But, you know, as soon as I figure that out, then I'll put a little star or something there to mark my house. But this is my subdivision. And this also completes the challenge for, there was add splatters and drips. So I've got some splatters and drips in the background. So that's a twofer right there. This page was to use polka dots. And I had some background papers that had circles on them, so I outlined them and, you know, just made them polka dots. And then I cut this page out of a magazine, this face, and I just used circles to kind of turn her into a dot mosaic, really. She's not really polka dots. Well, I guess she could be, but to me it's more of a mosaic because the pieces come together to create a whole. And I really love the way that turned out. I'm going to do more like this because I love the way that looks. It's a little bit of an optical illusion, and I like that. So, there's that one. This one I did a video for. This one was to use a fortune from a fortune cookie. And I did a video for this one. That was, I think, a rubber stamp one. Use a rubber stamp in a new way. My new way was to not use one at all. So there we go. And I think, okay, I know you've seen these. Have you seen these? I don't know. Okay, 35. What was that? Oh, draw or alter a face. I think I have showed this one before. This was an Arctic explorer that I got out of a magazine about the North and South Poles, I think it was. And he's like this hardened Arctic explorer guy. It was a black and white picture. And I used markers to add color, and then I gave him some lipstick and eyelashes, and it just made me so happy. I smile every time I look at it because I can remember what he looked like before I altered him. And he was really kind of severe looking, and now I'm sure he's feeling pretty because I feel pretty for him. I love that picture. This one was to draw or photograph your favorite shoes. And these right here are the shoes that I wear almost every day. These Toms. And any Toms really are my favorite shoes. Toms love my feet and my feet love them. We have a great relationship. So I just made a whole page for Tom shoes. That was just a page for no reason. I have several of those. My wish list. These are a few things that I'm kind of wanting. Some books and some camera equipment and some furniture and some paint and things. And then I know I've showed all of these before. I think what I'm going to do is go back and take a good picture of each layout and then make an album for them, either on Facebook or on Flickr, maybe both. And that way, you know, I can have one place where I can go and look at pictures of all of the challenges. I did this one just last night. This one was to trace a picture, or trace your hand. So I traced my hand on some scrap paper, and I glued a piece of already done paper for the background. And this is 49 and 37. I covered up, I did some journaling right here, and it was a lot of venting, which I needed to get out, but I read it again and it just didn't make me happy to read it. I didn't want to look at it again, so I covered it up. And I left this right here because, you know, that tells me what's underneath here. I wrote about a really difficult time under here, but the fact that I'm able to cover it up and move on means that I have moved on from that difficult time. So that's why I just left the first line right there to remind myself that things do get better, even when you think they won't. Okay, 49 and 37. I know one of them was to trace your hand. Week 49 was to trace your hand. Week 37, oh yeah, use a white pen. I traced with a white pen, did some white, and I've used white pens all throughout here, but I just made that one be the one that met the challenge. So, and the rest of these are from before. Oh, maybe not this one. This one was week 30, which is fill a page with receipts and labels and business cards and, you know, things like that. So that was easy enough. And there is my documented life for 2014, pretty much. I'm going to get rid of these tabs, glue my months together, finish out a couple more of the challenges that I want to do, and then call it done and move on to 2015. I've already done a video on how I made my new planner, but I've added some things to it and that I want to show you, but I'm going to do that in a separate video so that this doesn't go on crazy long. So, for now, that's all I have. The end.